Some changes may be in the works, but everyone changes. Upcoming guests. I've been talking to a few people for upcoming guests on the program, so we have a lot of things to go over. This week I didn't get anything in the news because we've been just so busy. We have a case coming up. We're doing very well. Hopefully some of the cases, we just sent out letters so we can review some stuff on the program. Maybe I can get to a point where I can show you some evidence again here, talk about it, interview some people. We're always doing well, always making changes. I'm trying to do things to help better the show. Let's go into a little bit of what we discussed this weekend. This weekend we discussed a lot about equipment and techniques of ghost hunting. The biggest thing that people really are amazed about is these IR cameras and video cameras. When to video, how to video. For me, I like to have a video camera on all the time. EVPs, we like to take EVPs and EVP sessions. That was discussed, and a lot of the things that we discussed this weekend is simple things that you may just overlook for whatever reason, like making sure someone says flash when someone's taking a picture so that our eyes don't get all crazy. Things in EVPs, like noting the dates, noting the times and the rooms to match it up with video at a later date. These are all things that I do, but to some people I learned that it was major things that they're very fussy about. We showed our evidence that our team had, and the public was just amazed by everyone's evidence, but my team's evidence has a couple pictures of actual like our ghost writing picture and our mist formation pictures. They're very different, and a lot of people are not used to those kinds of things or have ever seen it before. Ghost writing happens when a ghost wants to send a message or a spirit, and they actually write something in the air or use an energy for something it appears to be letters or a symbol, and it is called ghost writing. We do have a photo of that, one of the best that I've seen, actually. And we were talking about that this weekend with a few other investigators from the other teams. Also, some of the things they got was movements of things, like poltergeist activity on video. It was just majorly great and awesome that they got this stuff. It was a lot of fun learning and watching the evidence and hearing the EVPs. One of the EVPs I heard this weekend was just absolutely fabulous. It was almost like something was in the room with them. You see the video. They showed the video first, and they showed the EVP, and you could tell nobody was in the room with them or anything was about around them. It was just something that was just amazing. Absolutely amazing. I may be in touch with them to get some of the EVPs so you guys can hear them here on the program. Let's go to some of our email questions. One of the questions is, how does one become a paranormal investigator? We've answered this before, but I'll go into it a little bit. You got to study. You got to know what you're doing. You have to have the equipment, and there's a drive. The drive is making it your life. My life is made into being a paranormal investigator. and it's a fun. It's not just a hobby; it's a way of life. And I stress this on people that you have to get into it 100%, or you can't do it. But how to do it is you got to form a team. You got to advertise. There's so much more. I'm going to send this person more information in their email, and I thank them for the question. The next one comes from somebody that wrote down their name. Their name is Mary. She's in the Florida area. Mary wants to know the difference between an intelligent type haunting and one that communicates with you. And I would say the way she described this one is that both of them are an intelligent haunting. A lot of times intelligent hauntings do not just communicate with you. They show intelligence. When you tell them to knock or answer back, they will. If something is moved, you know it was moved in that room. Say you tell them to move something in the living room, and you find on video it was moved in the living room. Also, sometimes their communication with you on EVPs is intelligence. They're answering your questions. They're being productive in the way it's thinking. Both of these things that you describe in this email are intelligent hauntings. Now, I think what you were trying to figure out, or what I figured out from this, what's the difference from different types of hauntings from intelligent hauntings? Intelligent hauntings have intelligence. They, like I said, they'll answer you in EVPs. They will correspond with you correctly. A lot of your evidence from an intelligent haunting will be something of good communications, something that you know that the spirit that you're investigating, or place you're investigating, or the haunting, or whatever happened, knows that you are there. It knows what it's doing. It's not just random or repeatedly done. And a lot of times this is a spirit that might have, as I used to call it, lost its body, and it's still continuing on. It still wants to live. It just does not have a body. And that's a whole nother subject, but it's something that I see a lot, and we deal with a lot. And I also kind of feel sorry for these spirits, because if it is a person that's or spirit, I say person because after all, if it's still going, it still wants to be living, and it still wants to be a person. I like I said, I feel sorry for them because maybe they didn't want to go. Maybe what happened to them was tragic, and they just don't want to move on. I feel that sometimes I would like to help them a little more than I can, but there's only so much I can do for a spirit, and there's so much I'm willing to do. Sometimes it's just best that the spirit moves on, but for whatever reason it doesn't want to, and it knows it doesn't want to. I find that a lot in this work. But I thank you for your email. As always, we answer emails, and we also write to you. Not only on the show do we answer the email, but we write to you a full response. That way, just in case we don't use it on the show, you still have an answer. You still will receive a correspondence from us. Our email, if you want to write to us, is theparanormalworld@yahoo.com. You can write to us. If you want to see archives, we are on YouTube. Also here on the Ustream, there's archives. We're on Facebook. Look me up on Facebook. Our Southern Tier Broome and Tioga Paranormal Group for Meetup.com is on Facebook. If you would like to join that, you can. and we'd love to see you here each week as well. Let's welcome to our chat room. We have a chat room live up on Ustream that you can talk with. It's Ustream.tv /channel/ the paranormal world. For those of you listening to our archives, probably by now you are listening to our archives, or maybe you're live right now. Welcome to the room, Carly. Welcome to the room, Mary. And it says we have 2 guests to the room. Welcome everybody to our chat room. We're just going through this weekend. We went to the Paraunity Fest that was held in Elmira, New York. We're looking forward to next year's Paraunity Fest, or an upcoming Paraunity Fest that we have been invited to. It was great. I networked. It was a lot of fun, and I recommend going to one anytime that a Paraunity Fest or one of these things come up in your area. I recommend going to them. They're a lot of fun. And I thank right now Jerry for inviting us. He's a good friend of ours, good paranormal investigator, a good team at GI New York. There's another one, New York X. Of course, Ghost Talkers was there, and my team was there, and there was one other person there, Mark, who was really, really cool as well. He's a psychic and independent investigator. He had some wonderful evidence too. It was just great. Somebody wanted to know if some other people. No, there wasn't a lot of people that came to the event. I mean, we didn't have hundreds and hundreds, but the people it did were very, very nice. The public was very open. The library, I thank the library for having us. But some of our friends from Facebook did not come. I guess the Paraunity Fest was in the middle of other events, and everybody double booked themselves, as it's called. But the ones that did come, we had a lot of fun, and I love meeting new people. Everybody can see the picture up on my Facebook of everybody that came. There was a lot of us. At one time, there was probably about, I don't know the numbers, but at our table, there was probably about 15 people around our table answering questions. All 4 of our team members were talking to a little group. It looked like each of us had our own little audience in front of us talking about stuff. And it's nice to see the public come out. It's nice to show the public that what's on TV and what we actually do are 2 different things. I didn't get into a lot of stuff with people about my show here. A lot of people asked about the show, but I didn't get too much into it because it was more for us networking. But 2 people from our show here asked about the show, and they said they watch. So if they're listening right now, thank you for coming. I was very surprised of seeing that the 2 people that listen to my show here were there. And it's also nice meeting the people that listen to my show. Again, I sit here in front of the microphone, and I don't get to see my audience. You guys get to see me, but I don't get to see you, and it's very nice seeing these people. Something that I did like, that was brought up at the event, is how people don't take care of graveyards. I don't get much into this stuff because I don't really think sometimes it's important, but it is about how people do not take care of graveyards. People should respect graveyards and respect the tombstones, and people should treat them with respect. And the other thing I didn't like is I didn't like it that it was very hot there. But other than that, to answer the question in the chat room about what I didn't like about it, did and didn't, I liked everything about it, and those were the two things I didn't really especially like. But I cannot complain. We did a very wonderful job. I want to congratulate my investigation team and all the teams that came, actually. They all did a wonderful job. Again, I learned a lot. Tonight's show may be very short. It's been an awfully busy week, and it's a start of another busy week coming up. Another investigation coming up, and another speaking engagement coming up, so we're getting pretty busy. I sure wish I had a van or something that we could get around in better. Somebody at the Para-Unity Fest was kidding with us. We're going to the Paranormal Picnic that's coming up, and he said that we should get an RV, and I got to thinking maybe we should get some kind of a van or something going. He was kidding with me, and he said in all my years that I worked a circus and carnival, I never got myself an RV. And it would be kind of funny if we had one. I can only imagine myself in a big RV, all this equipment and everything, and here I am in the RV. Knowing my luck, I would be sent outside, and everybody would sleep inside, and I'd be the one that would have to sleep outside in a tent because everybody else was inside the RV. Once again, welcome some people to the chat room. If you're listening for the very first time, or if you're listening to archives, we do have a chat room up on Ustream.com every week. It is Ustream.tv/channel or Ustream.com/channel/The Paranormal World. The chat room right now has two guests. Welcome to the program. Carly, our wonderful friend, and Mary, another wonderful friend we have. And I know Mike and Dave are going to probably be listening to the archives. I want to say hello to them. Hawk is also listening probably to the archives. I want to say hi to Hawk. Hawk is coming up. In June, we're going to have some guests. Hawk is going to be one of them. He is going to be one of our guests again, talking about Bigfoot and some other things. And we finally found out, if you're familiar with Hawk, that the sound he heard, the animal's noise, was a hyena. And we've been trying to figure out why a hyena was sounded in the woods. That will be coming up in June, and we have two other guests. We may even have Gina come back and say hi to everyone. It's going to be great shows in June with our new Ustream audience and our new Ustream format. I look forward to it. We might even get a new kind of studio here. Now, in the chat room, there's somebody that's asking about investigations that the other teams have done. Now, it's all kept confidential, but some of the investigations they did at huge places, like the Stanley Hotel one did, another kind of hospital, and we got to discussing with one of the teams that some of them cost money to go to. Like one of them was like $2,000 for the team to go to. Now, what I disagree with that, but what I guess it is historic preservation, and sometimes people like to have money at the sites that they own. It draws in an income, and it draws in upkeep of the place. However, some of these things are more like tours where everyone goes at once, and sometimes it's not as good as it sounds. Or the place you go to, like the one they were discussing, I'll keep confidential, but they went there and they seen it on TV, and they went there themselves, and it just was not a big of deal as they made it out to be on TV. They were not disappointed. But for the listeners and stuff, oh, let's go to the Stanley Hotel or let's go somewhere. Sometimes it may not be as big as they make it out to be on TV. I know I've been to one of the places that they shown on TV, and they made it into a big, big thing, an hour show on this bar that they went to, and the bar is a really small place, and it's not, it had great food and everything, but I would not make a big deal like they did on TV about it. Somebody mentioned in the room, our chat room here, they would like to investigate the Queen Mary. That's a ship, I believe. I would like to investigate it as well. That's one of the places I have on my list. However, I do not know. I remember one of our guests telling me that they did not find very many things on the Queen Mary. That's the only thing it's about these famous places, is if you go there, there is a chance you may not find anything, and I would not want to have that chance come up. I would like to go and find something. I'm one of these people, if I'm going to go to a famous haunted site, I want to get the same evidence that other people has gotten and the same experience other people have gotten, and I realize that may not happen. Now, while we're on the subject of famous places, I live near two places that are believed to be haunted, and I've actually been to one of them. And it was, like I said, wasn't as big a deal. However, I did see something there. It was an investigation. We went to this place. It's a museum, actually. And I just happened to bring an EVP recorder and a camera with me. And one of my cameras, at the time, it was a film camera, did capture something that may not have been there. In the room, there's another figure that we have no idea who it was. Nothing really big, but it was very, very nice, and it was very, very kind of nice to see that something was there. Let's welcome Bellawood to our chat room. Bellawood, welcome for coming. Our new thing we have is our phone number is up there for everybody to call in. It is 607-217-4667. Please note that we don't want any fooling around. We're looking to do more phoning if it works. We're looking to have an actual call-in session of the show. Somebody said something about being right in the chat room, and yes, they are right. Now, somebody mentioned that the Queen Mary is a hotel-like atmosphere now. Yeah, I heard that. I heard they changed it around a little bit. There's another big ship in New York City that's an aircraft carrier that I've been on, that was said to be haunted. There's another place here locally that's haunted. I'm not going to say where it is right now, but that also costs money. The hotel costs money to go and stay at. And you can stay in one of the rooms. However, the amount of money is just too much. I don't think anyone should spend that much money. The chances of not getting anything in that room, I was told, is pretty high. Sometimes it's not worth doing. There. Somebody asked how we get around now. Probably from me mentioning that I want to have a van or something. How we get around now is we just each take turns going, carpooling. It's all right for now. I have never investigated any of these famous locations except for one of them. It's called Fallbrook Cemetery, and just recently we found out that it is now something that people want to go to. I don't know if I've made it that for my show or not, but a lot of people are wanting to go and investigate or have done it before, and we just never noticed it. The Whaley House in San Diego, California. Yes, I've heard of that one. I do know that is a famous haunting one, in the Stanley Hotel is also one somebody mentioned in our chat rooms. Let's welcome BPIRS Will to the chat room. Welcome to the program. We're talking about this weekend and how it was nice. This weekend's Para-Unity Fest is great. A new thing on our thing is our phone number if you want to call in and talk to us. Also, we have a show break. We're not going to have the show break tonight, but that's something new for you viewers that are familiar with my show. I like to make new changes once in a while to our show. Some of the upcoming things are coming up. Pay attention to your Facebook if you want. If you want, add me to your Facebook. You can write to me at theparanormalworld@yahoo.com, and I'll give you my Facebook information. And you can join our Broome Tioga paranormal meetup group as well if you would like to. Today is just it's a busy week, a very, very busy week for us. And the upcoming week is going to be another busy week. We're starting to get busy again. I call it our prime season. We have some actual events we're going to be at, and I'll keep you guys informed about where we're at and when, so that you may be able to come and visit us. And again, this weekend, I want to thank Jerry for inviting us. I want to thank Let's Talk Ghost and New York X for them being at the Para-Unity Fest, and it was great meeting everybody. Now let's go to see if there's any questions in our chat room for us, or if you'd like to call in. We're here to answer your questions. If you have any questions, you can always write to them at theparanormalworld@yahoo.com. If we don't answer them on the show, we always give you a full answer in your email. I don't use all the questions and stuff I get for the show, or I will use them at another date depending on what kind of question it is. Somebody asked me if I read all the emails. No, I don't read them all because sometimes it can get overwhelming. I don't read them all on the show. I do read them all and I answer them all. So that's how we do our email. So it's been a busy week, and that's why today's show is not as long as it mostly is. I'm trying to have at least a 2-hour show. I will be playing some of our EVPs, great EVPs from our last 5 investigations we had. I may get them up here. The last 5 investigations have been wonderful. I want to thank my team of Beepers, BPIRS, here on the show. I want to thank them. They're great investigations. It's just not been a busy week for us. It's been a busy month for us. And we're just getting back. If you're listening to us for the very first time or listening in the archives, Ustream.com is our new platform or network where we're on. I do have 2 submissions into another network to see if I can get the show to a higher level, to another place. It's been great on the other network, but it was just a time for a little change. So if anybody has any questions, Somebody mentioned in the chat room we have a great team. We do. We have a wonderful team, each and every one of us. Let's welcome some of our people in the room tonight. There's Will, there's Carly, there's Mary. We have 2 guests. We always like to have guests on the program. Guest viewers, I'm talking about. People that come into the show that don't have their name here. Comes up on guest, I believe. And we would like to welcome you two to the show as well. We hope you're enjoying it. Somebody asked where the co-host is. I don't know. I haven't heard from the co-host all day. Never called, never showed. But I don't need a co-host to run the show. I can do it all by myself. I wonder if Will will ever come back. That was a big question last week. I talked to Will. He has a busy job schedule. But we may get him in here sometime. So it's only going to be a small segment of the show tonight. Somebody asked how my mom is doing. Everybody knows my mom was in the hospital. She's been moved to a nursing home for some rehab, rehabilitation, and she is doing okay, I guess. I'm not going to say bad. I'm not going to say good. We're not sure at this point, but she's coming along. Again, you want to write to us. It's the Paranormal World at yahoo.com. This week's show is short because we were busy, but you can always listen to our other archives. We have them up on YouTube. Or if you're listening to our archives, go ahead and stop by our other archive shows. I'm going to sign off for this week. Got a few things to do. So, thank you all for coming. It was a great show. I enjoyed it this week. Starting next week, we may have a guest and a new format. So thank you for everybody coming.